Okay, we're ready for step 8, and I have already taken the wire that's jumpering the two potentiometers together, grounding both housings together, and I've run that wire over and put it through the eyelet on the tab washer. And as you can see on the drawing, if we can see the drawing here, we've got to put this capacitor from the center terminal of the tone control to the ground. So we're going to take one end of this capacitor, and it'll be going through this terminal right here, and the other one through the tab washer. Now I'm going to cut this lead off a little bit shorter than the other side because I want to make sure that it doesn't get grounded out in case it would push back and touch the housing. It would bypass the capacitor. We don't want to do that. We need that for the tone control. So I'm going to cut this lead off a little bit shorter than the other lead, the one that's going to go on this terminal. And then I'm going to bend it so that it can go through this through the terminal. So once you put it through there, you can see it's through there now. You can go ahead and bend it up. Get this clenched on there. Okay. And then this one doesn't really matter if it touches the potentiometer because that's the same ground that the terminal is on. But we go ahead and put this through there and bend it back. So you don't need that much of it on there, and I don't have any diagonal cutters. So I'm going to try to snip this off with this pair of scissors here. And that didn't work too well. There it goes. So I take the needle nose pliers and also pinch this together so I can get a good solder joint there. Now we don't want to get the glasses on. We don't want this one to end up touching this terminal. It's not going to be used. We're going to want it to short out to that terminal. Okay, so I can go ahead and solder this side. I can go ahead and make this solder joint right here. Don't want to make this one yet because we've got one more wire that goes in here, or actually the end of the fuse goes in there, and we don't need this much lead on here, so we're going to cut this off to about maybe a little less than a ½ inch, and then we're going to bend this so we can get that looped through there. And we put this one through that same hole, and you see it coming through there. And we loop it around. And now that joint is ready to be soldered. So I've got this capacitor soldered to the middle terminal there that I just already did, and now this wire coming here that grounds this whole one and also grounds this one is now going to go back to the output jack. So we'll go ahead and solder this joint here so that we have, and I do want this to stay up. I think it'll stay there this time. So when I get the soldering iron down here, it might help if I put it on the other side, but I don't know if I'm going to be in your way. There it is. And that is step 7. The last step that we have to do is we could just, it's probably not a good idea this is long enough to go onto this terminal, but there has to be some flexibility in it, so we need to put another loop on this end of the fuse, and then step 9 would be to attach that to in this circuit, and that would be the ground for this circuit in case there's an overload that comes from the bridge and goes through this circuit. It'll blow that fuse before it would do any harm to anybody. That's the whole idea behind that. So we have one more step, but I'm out of green wire, so we're going to end at step 8.